Hey, we hope you're all well. Hope you're being treated as kindly as this world knows how to. I have had a couple of deeper understandings and realizations about how this system works, how my subsystem works specifically, I think, which is kind of cool and might be of relevance to some people. And I just wanted to bring up. But before I do, I noticed that I'm experiencing um I had like the thought of like I don't actually need a reason. I don't need um like good any reason other than I wanted to talk about it. And I was sort of checking in with parts of me that was like, I know that. Do I know that? And then there's a moment of like, oh, I've paused for rather a long time here, and that's okay. So it's like I'm at an interesting place where I'm getting the well, that's part of it kind of. That's actually a fantastic segue in. Thank you, me. I like it. So there's like, it feels like I work like a slinky. Mm, okay. I did some doodles. I do doodle quite a lot. And I really want to make an art piece from it that would make a lot of sense in 3 dimensions. It'd be kind of easy enough to mm, understand if it was in a 3 dimensional piece. I'm realizing that the sketch is surrounded by words that I maybe don't want to share online. It should be very valid. But I share the image and not the words. I guess I'll take a picture and crop it. Oh, and then that means editing the video. Which I don't love the idea of doing. Hmm, interesting. Wonder what I'm gonna do about this. I will find my second doodle, which is not surrounded by words. So, this is gonna make sense. It feels a bit like I do that. Like, every. But, like, if this was going backwards instead of, like, straight down. So, like, I, as the host, am like this outer ring. And it feels like different versions of me are, like, each a ring and go back into my core, all of which having different abilities to think and feel, different attachment to the body, different roles, I guess, different core concepts, different beliefs, um, a lot of different things, different tastes, which is interesting. So it feels as if I will have younger parts of me inside bringing me concerns, which it used to be that I'd like hear them and validate the emotions, like really try to empathize, I guess using cognitive empathy, and like think about how it would feel and be like, that's fucking trash and you deserve better and that must feel like this. And then reassure, like, I'm bigger, I'm gonna take care of us, I'm here, you know, I'm gonna make sure to meet your needs to keep us strong. And then it's like moved to a different phase where I will receive the concerns um, in more of an emotional capacity. Like it used to be more like somebody talking to me, and very distantly I'd hear the concerns. Now it's like I feel them in my chest because there's this whole slinky thing going on where like it feels like the slinky, if I'm triggered, gets really elongated and like I'm left as the protective outer shell, but I don't actually have contact or very much feeling in my chest, in my body, in my emotions, um, of any of the younger parts of my subsystem. So it's kind of hard to notice what my needs are to meet them, which leads to me abandoning myself because I can't feel anything there. So when I get triggered, the first thing that I want to do is make sure to check in with us and to see how these younger parts are feeling, validate and reassure. And then I feel the emotions as my own afterwards. I think it's about them or me trusting me to meet the needs that are being brought up, as opposed to abandoning our needs and focusing on the needs of everyone around us because that is what I'm programmed to do to keep us safe. So now that I'm fighting that programming and I'm addressing our needs and meeting them, I seem to be trusted more with more and more emotions and more concerns, which is really cool. I fucking love it. And yes, does involve feeling a good amount of very uncomfortable, very painful emotions very consistently. And it's really interesting because I I have like I've had a lot of feeling of like almost like I'm playing a game character in some part of me, like I'm watching through the screen. I'm not very, or like my life's a movie that I'm kind of watching the character play out the script of. And lately, I've had a few fusions. Let me just check it's okay to mention people by age. Because it's like, it's really cool. I love the way we're handling it in the system. It's like there's me as the host, and then kind of like the second layer behind me is almost like a second in command. And it's like some younger parts seem to find it easier to fuse with me, and some younger parts seem to find it easier to fuse with um, the layer back there. So like there's still communication going on, and kind of like not quite two hosts, but like two versions of me that'll go in and out of each other as layers. I guess while we're working on integrating the information between us until we can fuse into one cohesive layer, which is cool. And I remember being 5 recently, like I've just realized that that's why I'm getting the occasional memory blank. It's that slight switch between those two, like those two parts of me. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I've memory blanked myself again. It just be like that sometimes, you know. Like, ah, whoa. Really blurry vision. I wonder why that's such a thing. I wonder what's happening that like blurs my vision in and out. It's strippy. acknowledging and realizing what was happening between us has led to going, well, what's happened lately, or what things between these ages and parts could be like easy to integrate between two layers, but that difficult to get those to like go into the one. And I'm like, I'm thinking about it and realizing, and it feels like it's bringing us closer. The realizing. Scrap whatever topic I was on. I'll be back. This is like feeling a lot more important right now. I do like to be adaptive. I notice that when I get closer to myself between these two layers, which actually involve like 4 parts, way more than 4 parts in one, but I have recently been 6 and I have recently been 5. Parts of me have recently been 6 and 5. And those parts are fusing with parts of me that are 16 and 15. And I'm thinking about the experiences we had around those ages and realizing why some coping skills are better suited, matched together, closer together in some years than others. But there's actually quite a big discrepancy between the coping skills we'd have needed from one year to the next. So, and again, the same in the older and younger ages. So it makes perfect sense to me as to why, like, younger parts of me can. I see why it's been done this way, and I think it's really clever. Brains are trippy, man. The idea is really fucking fascinating. Fucking hate the PTSD symptoms, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna glorify those. Those are like harrowing, overwhelming. It's like a seventh circle of hell that you live in. But the DID being a system, fucking love that. I can't imagine what it would be like to go through even one fucking year of the shit we've been through as one person. I'm so grateful to everyone in my system right now. I have more and more moments of that, of realizing what defensives have done for us and how I've been protected and the skill sets that we share in here and how they've helped us adapt to situations we should never have fucking been in and helped us survive and helped me to remain impossibly damn functional under ridiculous stress, not even fucking knowing it's there. Damn. I'm actually feeling a little bit more whole, like a little clearer. I've been a bit hazy and all over the place for a bit more hazy and all over the place than usual for a few days. I know that at the minute we're trying to integrate information between four of us, two younger parts and two older, that is really fucking difficult to integrate. It's like constantly lifting weights while unicycling on a tightrope above flames with no net. Holy shit, I've got the easy version. Well, not like the easy version. There is no easy version of this, but I don't know, man. The persecutor version of fusing in a subsystem and integrating stuff looks unimaginably rough. Moment of silence. How fucking much work we do day in and day out. Having a moment. Alright. Moment's done. I noticed that as I get closer to these parts of myself and even just like talking about it, maybe the fact that I'm choosing to vlog right now, because everything's really fucking new and scary in the parts of me that I'm speaking from that were recently young, that are sort of new feeling. Like everything feels new and a lot like very close and very real. And that comes back around to what I was saying earlier, which is like it feels like I've gone through into the game itself and the game has become real life and it no longer looks like cartoony distant graphics through a screen or a character that I'm controlling. I feel like as I get used to being in the front and fusing in as these younger parts of me, and I get used to feeling the depth and level of emotion that these younger parts of me have felt that maybe was cut off around that age, was sealed away in them in that age. It's all very new in different ways to different parts of me, older and younger. And as it comes together, it's got a very tangible, real just like it removes the puffy cloud layer of like this isn't real or like the sort of disconnect between me and reality and me and my body. And I'm kind of new to everything in every way. Or I'm familiar with stuff, but I've never felt it in these depths in other parts of me. Or like, yeah, it really is like layers of me coming together with inside layers of emotion, and it's removing what has always been like a heavy sort of numbness in my chest. I understand what people mean when they say things like emotions going to your core. And I noticed that at my core right now, where there was numbness, I'm gonna say anesthetic, there's now like this really deep, heavy set pain. which I am grateful to be able to feel. Not fucking grateful that it was bestowed upon us by selfish, fucking pathetic assholes that project their own shit at other people and don't deal with the therapy work themselves and just use people as a way to escape their own emotions that are uncomfortable. They can fucking burn in hell and die on the wrong side of history. And it's completely valid that these emotions exist in us right now. And from our experiences, because they have been unthinkably fucking awful experiences from unthinkably fucking awful people. I guess we're having an impromptu healing therapy session because I'm feeling a lot right now. But you know what? I can roll with the flow. Not the direction I had planned. Oh, I suddenly feel very in my body. Ooh, self-conscious. Ooh, the camera. Ah. It's trippy how much emotion lives in your body and in my body, and not just as thoughts in my brain. I like it. It's shocking, and I like it. Whoa, all the thoughts. Oh, and shit, the room just got brighter. Maybe maybe working through how triggering it is to be filmed for some younger parts of me. Oh my god, and yeah, shit, that's brave. Fuck. Look at us. Some of these years were trash for cameras. And here we are, sitting and talking in front of a camera. Not just like talking, but experiencing emotions openly and displaying vulnerability. And really feeling no fucking concern at all for how we're going to be perceived most of the time, and addressing those fears in the fleeting moments they come up. I think I'm starting to realize that how we're perceived really has nothing to do with us. Like, you know, actions are one thing, and we're in charge of those. Sure. And as long as I feel like, as long as we feel we've acted with integrity, and with intentions that align with our moral beliefs and values, I don't give a damn what anyone sees in us. In fact, I politically angrily don't, because so much shit is like, I really notice with this, so much shit is so easy to project what we believe onto others and our experiences. And when somebody has a judgmental response to what we're saying or how we're acting without reason to do so, if we are just acting for ourselves and not to damage others, it's really just, yeah, it's just them projecting their shit that they haven't worked through, and their insecurities mostly, I think, are where it's coming from, which I know is like I know it's kind of a commonly talked about thing, but I really see the the law and the inner workings that prove it to be so, and I'm just confident in it as an analysis, and that really makes me. And that coupled with the knowledge that we're not doing anything wrong, kind of just makes like it kind of just makes the feeling of like having anxiety about how we're perceived completely, I would say dissipate, but like it's just completely unattaches from us, or I realize that it never was in the first place attached to us or anything to do with us. Just really fucking freeing. And for some reason, I mean, I can work out the reason I'm short, but it makes me fucking angry. I'm just, oh my god, waves of fucking rage. Maybe because I haven't always known that, and because I've made myself small in the past, and I've not done things in the past, or not shared parts of myself, or been inhibited because of fear of what other people would say or think or believe. And I see now that that's just not something I need to do to be safe. Because I see why the phrase, that's a them problem. And being like, I don't give a damn about what people perceive us as, it doesn't mean that I like defensively automatically reject all perspectives. I can consider what somebody says to me. Somebody might have a valid concern, or I might not have realized something, or I might say something without considering a perspective of how it could make someone feel. So I'm always going to be open to what people say, but I think what's changed is I don't automatically assume I'm wrong. I'm not looking at everything with that sort of bias to confirm. So if somebody says something judgmental, it feels like it would be very easy for me to detach um, any feeling of responsibility from it, and see when it's somebody else's shit, or see if they have a valid concern. And with the knowledge that I'm standing by myself, and how well equipped we've become to support each other in here and to meet our needs and to keep ourselves protected without keeping up outright walls, but by being able to regulate our own emotions and self soothe, makes me feel so fucking strong and powerful and safe without me feeling the need to manage my environment or change my behavior in a way that manages my environment to be safe, because it's like the internal environment that we're managing to be safe now, and that's just on us, and other people's shit is so fucking irrelevant to that. This is amazingly empowering and freeing. I'm totally here for the completely surprising direction this video went in. And it kind of blurring the fuck out. It's like I used to think that how we kept us safe was by keeping people away. We were very good at that in a multitude of ways that we weren't always even aware of. And now I don't feel that threatened. I don't feel like I need to keep people at a great distance to be safe. I feel like people can exist and do whatever they're gonna do, and it doesn't mean that I'm never gonna get triggered by what they say at all. It just means that I'm not afraid of getting triggered. I've spent the last spent our entire fucking lives being triggered, and the last 2 years of therapy, way more, and fuck, the last few months and the last few weeks of intensive fucking work, the last year of trauma processing. I've seen that we're capable of dealing with triggers and making each other feel better and sitting with pain and processing really intense emotions. I think I'm seeing that we're bigger and stronger than any of those emotions and anything that's happened to us. And maybe I've seen Valentine ranting out loud at people in fucking flashbacks we're looping through enough times because fuck them. If they're gonna be around us, they're on our time and they can hear how much of a cunt they've been. Like, I feel like all of the people who used to terrify me at younger ages and who were life threatening and terrifying and cowardly and pathetic because you're threatening the life of a kid. And A, we're not kids and we're a lot bigger now. And B, we sit with emotions for hours every day that they couldn't even encompass, imagine, conceptualize, that they fucking run in fear from, and take out their shit by perpetuating their trauma and abuse on other people that are smaller and more helpless than them. And that's just fucking disgusting and pathetic. And they're not the sort of people I'm afraid of. I think we'd scare the shit out of them. I don't think they'd fucking come near us now. Wow. It's a lot of work to get to thinking like that and feeling that. You know, the same goes for all of you. Any trauma survivor who's doing the fucking hard work and looking at their behaviors and changing their brain pathways and their internal and external responses, doing the fucking difficult healing work, you are so much more powerful than anything that has ever happened to you. So much more powerful than any of the pathetic, stupid fucking pricks that have ever hurt you because of their own selfish, cowardly fucking inability to even look at why they have any of the fucking responses to things or people that they do. They couldn't hold a candle to you. And that doesn't mean that they weren't really as terrible and as terrifying as we thought they were when we were young, because they were. And it's also true that they're pathetic looking at them now. As who we've grown into, as who we're becoming. As who we choose to be. They're fucking nothing. In my view, anyway. Wow, I'm suddenly so fucking starving hungry and exhausted. I feel like I've never eaten or slept for a day in my fucking life. Yeah, I think so. Alright. Take care, all you awesome fuckers. See you in the next one.